Okay, let's start in our wide leg forward fold. So if you're sitting on the long way on the mat, your feet can be direction of the corners. And then you can make a little support for you to lay on. You can stack the blocks in the bolster or just the bolster. Fold. So whenever you got your legs in the comfortable position, you can also move the flesh of your sit bones back or prop your seat up on something so that your sit bones are rooting down, and then you can fold. So in the first posture of our yin practice today, just reminding yourself about this practice, reminding yourself this is a time to slow down and not a time to push yourself, but a time to be patient with yourself. So whenever we're practicing yin, we start off the pose at about 70% of how far we think we can go. And then you find your breath and you allow your body to naturally unfold. So take a big cleansing breath as you inhale. Feel the air filling up your entire body all the way to the toes. Then as you exhale, open the mouth, maybe sigh it out. Allow your forehead to soften. And let your jaw hang heavy. And let your neck completely relax. Releasing the need to hold up your head in any way. When the bones are supported, the muscles can relax. So allow yourself to be fully supported by your props and by the mat beneath you. And feel a small space forming between the muscles on your face and the bones on your face. Feeling all the muscles loosen their grip to the bones. Letting the shoulders curl and surrender toward the floor. Feeling the back body expanding. Maybe noticing your body beginning to loosen up. Noticing if there's any adjustments you can make to your props, maybe to allow yourself to unfold even deeper. But as always, not pushing it. Feeling the space between the vertebrae on your spine getting a little bit wider and longer. Letting your stomach be completely soft. Releasing any holding or gripping of your inner thighs, of your outer thighs, of your pelvic floor and your glutes, of your toes and your hands. Feel your body fully surrender into this pose for another 5 breaths. Letting these breaths be long and slow. As you're ready to do so, you can slowly begin to roll yourself up the spine, coming back up to your seat. Pausing for a moment at the top. And then go ahead and bring your left foot to the kind of the inside of the right thigh. Yeah, to this space in front of your seat. And then can bring your props over to the left. So you can stack up either the blocks, or if you have the yoga wheel, you can have that here. Sorry, I'm blurry. Oh, we're gonna do a side body stretch. And a side body stretch to the left. So I'm gonna do it, I think, with my wheel. Actually, I'm gonna do it with the bolster. So you can stack the blocks and put the bolster over that, or pillows, and then just come to hang out. You can support your head with the hand. Your right arm can be resting in front of you. It can be resting behind you, or it can be up over the head if you want that too. Whatever is the most comfortable. And yeah, feel free to adjust yourself as you progress in the pose. And remember to keep your right sit bone reaching toward the floor. So you really want to feel the length in the right side of the body. Feel this really long line we're making from the right toes all the way over there, through the leg, through the hip, and allow the space between your right hip bone and the bottom of the right ribs to get longer. Breathing into the right rib cage. Feeling all the organs on the right side of the body, getting a lot of space. And reminding yourself to relax the face, to soften the neck and the shoulders as much as you can while maintaining the posture. And as you inhale, you can really imagine the breath traveling to the right side of your belly, right side of the ribs. It's the whole right side body and the torso. And letting that space get bigger as you inhale. And then as you exhale, envision the exhale cleansing and squeezing this area. Detoxifying these organs. And I'm feeling this shape that you're making with your spine, this nice side body curl, this kind of half moon shape. Seeing the outline of your body, even with the eyes closed, just seeing the space that you're taking up. Softening the forehead and the jaw. And noticing if any energy is going outward. If any of your energy or thoughts are going to the past or to the future. And just redirecting that energy flow to come back to you. And calling all your energy back to you, back to this moment, back to this pose. And then really slowly, if your arm is lifted, you can release the arm and begin to bring yourself back up to center. Very gently and slowly. Noticing the big difference. And then you can go ahead and switch the legs. Yeah, if you want to do any like windshield wipers or patting the legs in between, you can do that. And then when you're ready, you can bring your right foot in, left foot comes out. And bring those props over to the right and line them up with the right hip. And we'll do this on the other side. So you can right away notice the difference in the side bodies. There will almost always be one side that feels different than the other. Maybe better, maybe looser, maybe tighter. Same thing over here, just reminding yourself to keep your left sit bone reaching toward the ground and feeling that line of energy that you're making from the left toes through the entire leg, through the left side of the body, through the armpit and the arm if that's lifted. And now breathing into the left side of the body, the left ribs expanding, the space between the left hip bone and the bottom of the ribs getting bigger with your inhales. Energizing the organs on the left side of the body as you inhale and detoxifying them as you exhale. Once again, reminding your face to be soft and relaxed. Reminding your shoulders and neck to be as soft as they can while maintaining the posture. And seeing the shape that your body's in. And taking about 5 more breaths on this side. And then slowly you can release your left arm and gently push into your props to bring yourself back up to center. You can reset by bringing the hands back behind you, bending the knees, and just windshield wipering a few times. And now let's get into our pigeon pose. So you can grab your props and bring them to the top of the mat. And we'll start with the left foot. So you can bring your left shin somewhat parallel to the front edge of the mat and bring your right foot back behind you. And yeah, so then you're just take a peek and make sure that your right foot stays in line with the hip. And you can be on your fingertips and lifted for a moment just to feel that length in the spine. And then walk your hands forward so you keep that length in the spine, and then come down onto your props. Into your sleeping pigeon, or sleeping swan in yin, we call it. And as we start to get into the hips, maybe noticing any resistance in the hips. Energetically, the hips are very connected to the jaw. So noticing if the jaw is tensing up. And as you loosen the jaw, feeling or allowing the hips to soften even more. And notice the discomfort, notice any sensations of pulling or resisting. And letting those uncomfortable feelings be your cue to deepen the breath even more, to let the breath be audible to you, to communicate to the body that we are relaxing, we are releasing, we are surrendering. And scanning your body, starting with the face, the neck, and the shoulders, and communicating to these areas to soften any tension, to soften any resistance. And then letting those cues follow down the body, into the stomach, into the inner and outer thighs, into the glutes, until you feel your entire body begin to surrender into this pose without trying to be anywhere else. For the next 5 breaths, letting yourself be in this pose. And then really slowly, you can begin to press your hands into the ground and bring yourself up to your seat just by shifting weight onto your left hip. You can bring the legs out in front of you, maybe shake them out, maybe windshield wiper, maybe both. And then whenever you're ready to, we can switch sides. So you can bring your right shin somewhat parallel to the front edge of the mat, maybe more at a diagonal angle. And then kick your left leg back behind you, keeping that in line with the hip. Or if there's any better way to get into pigeon, you can do that. And same thing over here, staying lifted or at least staying long, so that when you fold forward, you remind your spine to be nice and long rather than crunching or folding too much. Looks great. So again, you can notice right away the different sensations on this side compared to the last. Or maybe they are about even for you. And remind your face to fully soften. Remind your jaw to let go of any sense of holding, even in the tongue, releasing the tongue. You can notice any area in the body where the sensations are the loudest. Anything that's kind of hard to ignore. It's most likely going to be in your right hip, but it could be somewhere else. It could be in your back, maybe in your hip flexor, wherever it is the loudest. Don't fight the attention that it's asking for. So instead of distracting or ignoring things that are unpleasant or uncomfortable, this is a practice where we allow ourselves to sit fully in the discomfort. We lean into the uncomfortable situations. And of course, pain is different from discomfort. If at any point you feel a sense of pain, then be sure to listen to your body and ease off. But feeling the discomfort is a catalyst for growth. And so when we challenge ourselves to sit fully and to be still, if the body is uncomfortable with doing that, we are growing. And take about 5 more breaths, allowing yourself to fully soften and surrender. And really slowly, as you're ready, begin to walk the hands back up to the seat, slowly bringing the weight into your right hip, coming back onto your seat, maybe windshield wiper a few times. Why am I blurry? Okay. Now let's do some twisties. So you can stay here. You can have your hands back behind you. Your feet are as wide as your mat with the knees up. And then let your knees fall to the right. So you're kind of like a broken doll. And then grab your bolster or your pillow and bring that back behind you so that when you are facing your right, the bolster is lined up with your right hip. Going the long way. Back behind you. Yeah. So the weight is mostly on your right sit bone. And then you bring your hands to frame the bolster. And then you'll start to walk yourself down to lay on the bolster in your deer pose. So if you want to ease off the twist slightly, you can be looking or be on your right cheek. And then if you want to deepen the twist a little bit more, you can turn onto your left cheek so that you're looking toward your right. Yeah. Get nice and comfy. So feeling this gentle twist variation in the spine. Feeling it, how it affects your organs and your belly. And let your belly be fully relaxed. Let your breath travel in and out of your belly. Let your organs are free to be massaged by this position. Your shoulders are cascading and folding over the bolster or your pillows. As you fully surrender the weight of your body into the pose. Notice if any of your energy has escaped and is traveling outward, to the past or to the future. And just gently remind yourself to bring the energy back to you, back to this moment. And let your inner hips and your outer hips fully relax. Relax your right glute and relax your left glute. Relax the lower right side of the stomach. And relax the lower left side of the stomach. Take about 2 more really full and long breaths. And then super slowly, and begin to bring your hands to the ground. And push into your hands to bring your torso back up. And bring the knees back to center. Maybe reset in the center for a few moments. And then whenever you're ready, you can go to the other side. So you can let your knees fall off to the left. So this time you're sitting more on your left hip. Your bolster is hugged up tight to the left hip. Your hands are framing that bolster or pillows. You can walk them just like in pigeon. You can walk them forward first and then down just to encourage the length in the spine. Oof. So feeling the shape that you're making with your body. And fully surrender the face, the neck, and the shoulders. And fully surrender the stomach. All the muscles in your back. Relax the outside of your left hip and your left glute. Relax the inside of the left hip. Relax the pelvic floor, the inside of the right hip, the outside of the right hip, and the right glute. Relax the lower left side of the belly. Relax the lower right side of the belly. And the band of muscles around your lower belly and lower back. Let all of those muscles relax as well. Take about 3 more big breaths, long breaths here. And then slowly, as you're ready, you can bring your hands to the floor and gently push into the hands. You can walk them back the way you came. The knees come back to center. And just reset. We're almost done. Let's do a heart opener. So you can either just keep your bolster right here, or you can set up your blocks in a T shape if you want to go a little bit deeper. And so if you're using the bolster, you can just put the bolster behind your seat and lay down and let your arms come out to the side so that your heart is the highest point in the body. And then if you're doing it on blocks, you just set your blocks up in this T shape, and the bottom of the first block is in between the shoulder blades where your bra strap would be. And this supports the head. So whatever's best for you. So feel your body completely open now. Option to bring the soles of your feet together if you want a little butterfly action here. And just fully surrender the body to the bolster, to the mats, to the position you're in. And bring your awareness to your heart center. And feeling the blood pumping from the heart across the chest, across the collarbones, down the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, into the hands and the fingers. And then feel the blood from the heart coming down past the lungs and the ribs into the stomach, the lower stomach, the glutes, pelvic floor, and the hips. And feel the blood from the heart going up the neck, into the head, energizing the mind, filtering out the mind. And start to pay attention to the shape that your body's in, the soles of the feet touching or facing each other. And feel that circuit of energy that you closed off. Instead of the energy exiting the soles of the feet, the energy is exiting the soles of each foot and traveling into the sole of the opposite foot, where it's to come back into the body, recycling the energy, keeping it within you. If you would like to close this circuit even further, option to bring the arms overhead, maybe interlacing the fingers above the head. So feeling how the top of the body is mimicking the bottom of the body. So if someone were to fold you in half, it would line up almost perfectly. The arms with the legs. And now feeling your body as a complete circuit of energy. So usually when we're standing and open, the energy exits our hands and our feet. So now the energy is going back into the body, into the opposite hand, into the opposite foot. So each breath you take, noticing the path that that breath goes on. Noticing what it sparks within your body. And taking about 5 more breaths just like this. And then you can gently release your hands down by your side. Bring the inner thighs toward each other as the soles of the feet come to the ground. And then bring your forearms close to the body as you walk the elbows so they're underneath the shoulders. Then bring yourself up away from the bolster. You can move that to the side. And keep it close to you, but we'll just come right back down to our backs. You can hug the knees into the chest. And just rock a few times with your back fully on the mat. Massaging yourself. And we'll do one final pose before Shavasana. So you can grab your bolster or your blocks, bring the soles of the feet to the ground, and then just lift your hips off the ground so that you can bring the bolster underneath the hips. So in a supported bridge posture, it's coming underneath the sacrum. If you have blocks, you can do the same thing. And then there's a few options with your legs. You can keep the soles of the feet on the ground. You can extend the legs long so that your hips are the highest point in the body and you get a nice little stretch on the psoas. Or you can bring your feet up toward the ceiling to this legs up the wall pose. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. So if at any point you want to switch positions, you can feel free to do that. But do your best to just find stillness and comfort in a place that you can hold and be still for the time. Okay, so if your legs are up toward the ceiling, feeling your feet as the highest point in the body. Feeling all the blood rushing from the feet, down the legs, into the hips, into the sacrum. Coming down the body, or I guess up the body, into the stomach, into the chest and the head. So feeling that path that you've created from the feet all the way to the head. Allowing all the muscles in your legs to relax, so not holding them in any position. Again, feeling the muscles in the legs this time separating slightly from the bones. Letting your stomach be soft. And letting the weight of your lower body, the weight of your sacrum and your hips, be fully supported by the surface that they're on. And another 4 breaths here, wherever you are. From here, you can gently let your feet come to the ground if they're not there. Remove your props from your seat, just lifting the hips toward the ceiling. And if you want to do a happy baby, if you want to do anything at all to make your practice feel complete before we rest in our final pose, then you can do so now. Yeah, maybe all the limbs up the wall, letting the limbs rest in their sockets. And whenever you're ready, resting in your final pose, your final Shavasana. Feeling the weight of your body surrender to the floor. And I'll guide you through a brief chakra activation and let you rest in silence for a few minutes before waking you up. So begin to imagine a small light at the very tip of your head. Not worrying too much if you don't see the light right away. You can just trust that that light is always there anyway. So feeling this light pulsing in unison with the crown of your head, your crown chakra. Maybe feeling that gentle pulse within the body. Noticing any color that you see, any sensations you feel. As you trust your inner knowingness and your innate connection to the energy that created all of life. Trusting and remembering that you are an extension of that energy. And allow the light to come into the skull, into the forehead, activating your third eye chakra, space between the eyebrows. Maybe feeling a gentle pulsing here as you remind yourself of the magic that is your intuition and your inner knowingness and guide. Letting the light travel down the face, softening every muscle as it does so. Coming down the throat and into the neck. Feeling the gentle pulsing of the throat chakra. Feeling the deep honesty that you have and truthfulness with yourself and your inner dialogue that therefore transfers to your outer dialogue and to others. Letting the awareness travel into the heart center. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude for this life, for your heart, for your body, for your mind, and a deep sense of compassion for yourself and for others. And awareness coming down past the lungs, the light coming into the stomach and the solar plexus. Feeling the pulsing of your belly. Feeling a deep sense of confidence and self-worth for yourself. And letting the light sink down to your lower belly and your sacrum. Feeling yourself as a joyful and creative person. And let the light finally sink down to your root chakra, the base of the spine, the space in between the sit bones. As you feel how safe and supported you truly are. And letting that light spread down your legs, down the ankles into the feet. Feeling all of your chakras aligned with this light, all the energy free to flow throughout the entire body without any blocks. And allow yourself to rest for about another minute in this total body recharge and total body awareness. If you want to stay for longer, please do so. And if you're feeling ready to come out of this, you can begin by noticing your breath again. By gently inviting the breath to deepen and to let air fill up the body once again. You can wiggle the fingers and the toes and the head and maybe take a big morning stretch. You can make your way to a fetal position on one side. And in your own time, when you're ready, gently rising up to your seat where we will meet with our hands at heart center. And thanking yourself for your practice today. And may this bring some love to everything that you do and to everyone that you see and carry you into a healing night's sleep. Namaste.